Hello, everybody. I hope everybody is doing well. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day to watch this video. I hope that you enjoy it. This is one of my favorite videos to watch as well as to film, and it is going to be my November cash count up, sinking funds update, whatever you want to call it. We're going to see what I have saved in the month of November. And yeah, we're going to go over all the numbers. I have my laptop next to me as I keep track of all of this on Excel spreadsheets. It's just easier for me. It does the math for me. So yeah, if you are new, I hope that you'll stick around, that you'll subscribe, that you'll join this amazing community. And welcome. I am Deidre. I am in my mid to late 30s. I work full time in healthcare, and I have actually been cash budgeting for a few years now. So yeah, let's get into it. I will start by just going over some numbers for online accounts, so you won't see them across any of my binders, as they're just strictly online, but I do keep track of them. So the first up is my vehicle. So this is anything vehicle related. I am saving for winter tires, which I know I will need to buy next fall, but it has paid for windshield wipers. It has paid for antifreeze. It has paid for some different parts that apologize, frog in my throat. Um, different parts that were needed to do some just small minor repairs on my vehicle that my dad was able to do for me. I did help him out, of course. So yeah, at the end of October, this account had $910.58, and at the end of November, it has $943.93. So I put $15. Well, this year, anyways, I've been putting $15 away every single paycheck into this account. So it actually has also accumulated some interest. So it is $33.35 more than last month. So yeah, that is great. I am happy to see that. I have sort of started working on a budget for next year, and I am going to increase my contributions to this account as well as my household account, just because I'm finding that, yeah, I'm glad I've been putting away something, but I do feel I need to bump it up a little bit. So, and speaking of household, this is an online account as well. Initially, I set this up to basically replace sort of like maybe small appliances. I've used it to buy bedding, I've had to buy new sheets, I had to buy a new duvet cover as mine was like totally ripped. And was starting to, yeah, just leave fabric like everywhere. It was quite old. So that's what I initially set it up for, was those sorts of things. But this year I've also been using it for sort of household things like dishwashing detergent, toilet paper, paper towel. I've still used it for anything in terms of like bedding that I've needed to replace, but I might also start using this account a little bit for those things that they're like groceries, but not really. So, like some vitamin supplements that I take, or when I buy protein powder, I usually get like a big thing of protein powder. So, I'm thinking of maybe incorporating that into the household part, just because it's not something that I'm buying necessarily every week or every 2 weeks. So, at the end of October, this account had $15 in it, and at the end of November, it had 45, 47. Again, it's up $30.47 due to some interest. So next up is Christmas. I have been saving, actually, this will be my third, I think, year saving up for Christmas since January. So every paycheck, I have money going to a separate account. I treat it as essentially like a bill. And so, yeah, I have actually basically finished all my Christmas shopping. I don't have very many people to buy for. I have my mom, my dad, my sister, my brother in law, my brother. I have two good friends that I like to buy for, as well as one of my good friend's sons. And I actually just picked up some books for her sons at our local secondhand bookstore. There's some Disney books and some Robert Munch. And if you know who Robert Munch is, definitely tell me down in the description down in the comments below. I'd love to know if you know who he is, as well as a Dr. Seuss book. And I actually think I'm just gonna go get them a few like small little things from the dollar store, like maybe little cars. They're kind of rambunctious little boys, so I think they would enjoy that. But that will probably just come out of my spending money. I do have to buy my brother a gift. I'm hoping he gives me an idea. If not, probably gonna give him money. Don't love doing that, but I know that he'll use it well. So at the end of at the end of October, I had $48.18 left in this account, and at the end of November, I have $88.34. As I do put $20 bi-weekly, I will have finished contributing for the month of December. I'm going to start again in January, so into this account, and most likely at the end of December, this account will be completely wiped. Whatever I don't spend, I'm probably going to put towards maybe throwing a little extra into my property taxes. I might keep maybe $5 or something just to boost maybe a donation. So, yeah, I will wipe out that account and start fresh in January. All right, so now we're going to start with our binders. So these are sort of things that are rotating, revolving, kind of being built up and then used. So we have our hair category, which is for my hair appointments. My next hair appointment is just before Christmas. And at the end of October, we had $60 in there. And we should have 115 at the end of November. So we have 20, 40, 60, 80, 85, 90, 95, 1, 5, 10, and 15. So that is correct. So we are up $55 in here. I have one more paycheck cash stuffing before I have my hair appointment. I already have more than enough for my hair appointment, including my tip. So yeah, I always like to have a little extras because it gets me going on to the next one. So next up is nails. I get my nails done roughly every 4 weeks. And then again, the next appointment I think is at the beginning of December. So I think I have one paycheck and then one paycheck before I get my nails done. So at the end of October, I had $45 in here, and I did get some money, but I did have an appointment as well in November, so it will be actually still at 45, but let's double check. We have 10, 20, 30, 35, 40, and 45. So that is correct. So there's no change, but again, this one goes up, this one goes down. My nails cost $30. So all right, next up is beauty. So anything beauty related, this is more earmarked, I think, more for skincare if I need to spend quite a bit. I'm using special shampoos right now, as you'll see in maybe a few of my videos. I've kind of briefly mentioned it, but I have been losing my hair. I was losing my hair I don't even know, probably 6, 7 years ago, could never figure out why. And then I started using some special shampoos and then it sort of seemed to quit. I think it honestly could have been stress at that time. Now I think it could be maybe a little bit of stress, but I don't believe it's related to my health conditions. I think it's just a separate issue, just to add to my plate of health issues. It's just another thing. So if I had to use money to buy that stuff, I would probably use it out of here. So at the end of October, I had nothing in here, but I did put money in here from some challenges. So we should have 70 at the end of November. But let's double check. We have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 55, 60, 65, and 70. So it is up $70 in here thanks to those lovely challenges. And then we have clothes category. I don't really need anything, but I am realizing over this past year that I do need to keep a little stuff in here. I've had to replace some PJs. I've had to replace some workout leggings. So yeah, I think I always want to have just a little bit in here, just in case I need to, buy new underwear. Maybe all my socks end up being holy, which quite a few of my socks have ended up being quite holy. I'm good for winter coats, I'm good for winter boots, but like, let's just say if a pair of winter boots like that I really loved all of a sudden just like, I don't know, just like totally wrecked, then maybe I would replace them if they were still available. So yeah, just kind of wanting to always have a little money in here. So at the end of October, I had $0, but again, thanks to some challenges, I should have 40. At the end of November, we have 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, and 40. So that is correct. So up $40 in there. I don't really have like a baseline. I don't know. Do you have a baseline in terms of like what you keep as a minimum in, say, your clothes category? Love to know. So next up is travel. Travel has had some movement in here, so it's gotten some money from some saving challenges, but I have put some of this money towards my debt. I'm trying to get my debt paid off by the end of July next year. So that is my goal. So taking some money out of here. I've had no travel plans at all. It took me a long time to build this up, but I'm kind of realizing once I get that debt gone, it's just going to be a huge weight off my shoulders. And I haven't even decided where I even want to go. I'm thinking probably maybe Vegas. I've been there once, but it's a place that's not super expensive to get to in terms of a flight or hotel. You can usually find deals. So yeah, we'll see. But I did take out $300 this month, so I should have $100. I do have some money in an online savings account for this. So actually, in the online account, I actually, even though there's $100 placeholder, I actually have $121.32. That's just due to some interest. But in cash, we should have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 55, 60, 65. So that is correct. So we do have $65 in cash. So we are just going to add that. So actually in travel, we have a total of 186.32. So yeah, it got drained quite a bit towards debt, but you know what? That's okay. Next up is gifts. This is obviously for gifts throughout the year. So like Mother's Day, Father's Day, birthdays. I don't celebrate Valentine's Day. I don't do anything for Halloween. As the condo I live in, we don't get trick-or-treaters. So yeah, and I don't obviously have to start worrying about Mother's Day until May of next year, and then Father's Day, and then birthdays are all in the summer. So money will go into this in the new year, but probably not until the spring. So at the end of October we had 15, and we still have 15 in there, as I haven't had to purchase anything or hasn't been anything come up. Oh, and also my friends' boys that I do like to give a little something to for their birthdays. They're not born until June and September. So yeah, they're in the summer as well. So in technology, we had at the end of October, we had 377.69. Now, I do have $400 in placeholders, and these are from, I think they're Budgets by Charlotte. They're really, really thin, but that's really nice because they go in really nicely. Everything I always use is linked down below. Nothing is from me. I'm not super creative. I just love to support creative people in the budgeting space. So I also did have a little bit of interest in this account online. So actually I have $403.09 in that account, but we should have an additional 20 in cash. So let's double check. So we have 5, 10, 15, and 20. That is correct. So we actually have 423.09. I'm trying to look kind of next year what I'm hoping to get. This is to hopefully buy a new cell phone outright. I think I'm going to set a budget of maybe $800. I don't always buy the latest phones. And then if you do sort of like I'm going to buy it outright, but if you do a trade-in, sometimes they do give you sort of a credit. And my phone is like old, but not like the oldest, if that makes sense. So I should get something for it, I would hope. So yeah, I'm just kind of trying to work out what I should do for that. So next up is giving. So this is to give donations. I do believe I'm going to try and make one more donation before the end of the year. At the end of October, we had $10. We should have 20 in there at the end of November. 5, 10, 15, and 20. That is correct. And last but certainly not least in this binder, there is one called Emergency Fund. I'm trying to focus on this next year. And so this tracker and this envelope are from Kayla at Budgets Bloom. And because it's new, I did actually have money I put in here from a challenge. So I should have 5, 10, 15, and 20. So there's $20 in there. So this is going to be a line item I for sure definitely try and cash stuff next year. Sorry, knocking y'all around. All right, next up, we have our condo insurance, home insurance. This is fully funded. This is due at the end of July next year. It has $375, and that has not changed. That's saved online. Next up, we have renewals. So this is my AAA and my vehicle registration. AAA is due in April, and license plate renewal is due in September, and we have $200 in there. And I had actually $100 in there last month, but I saved back up to pay myself so that I can pay for my registration next year. Next up is subscriptions. This is for XM as well as Amazon Prime. I do have Amazon Prime on a student because I was in post-secondary. So I should have 50. We have 20, 30, 40, and 50. That is the same that was at the end of October. Lots of these have not changed. Next up is health. So this is like a health buffer. I do have a new coverage at work. I do get reimbursed up until kind of a certain dollar value on like things like prescriptions, on my if I go to chiropractor, physiotherapy, and a whole bunch of other things. At the end of October, I had 50 in there, and I should have 60 in there now. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, and there's a 20 in there, so 60. So we are up $10 in that account. So yeah, it's just kind of towards the end of the year, I might not get reimbursed, so it's to help pay for that. Next up is furniture, which has not changed, but this is hopefully furniture for a new place. And at the end of October, we had 400, and we still have 400. So no change there. Next up is rainy day. This was, I did this earlier this year just to help build up my sort of emergency fund. I do need to clean off the tracker. It has nothing and has had nothing for quite a long time. Next up is night out, date night time for myself. I should have 70 in here. This I kind of have earmarked going towards a yoga class, which I have used money from this sinking fund to go towards yoga classes before. So at the end of October, I had 55, but I did add some money in November from challenges. So we should have 70. We have 10, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, and 70. So that is up 15. Usually about the 6-week yoga programs are around about the $70 mark. So next up is pets. I do not have one. This is for a future pet. This one has not gotten any love in a long time, which is okay. It's a future thing. So it had 75 at the end of October, and it still does. It's in there. I'm just not going to take it out. Debt payoff. This was an extra to help me go towards my debt. It's had nothing. I did kind of obviously track it, and I have put money towards my debt using this, but yeah, there's nothing in there and hasn't had it in a while. Next up is new home, obviously stuff for a new home. I plan to buy a new place in 2026, so this will get some love after my debt is paid off. But we should have 60 at same as at the end of October. It hasn't gotten any money in quite a long time. So we have 50, 55, 60. Sorry about that. And last but certainly not least in this one is appliances. This is obviously new appliances, hopefully for a new place, not my current place. This had 40 at the end of October. It has not had any love in a long time, which is okay. This is future stuff. So we should have 45, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, and 40. So no change in there. I do have 2 other binders that I was keeping track of. Sorry, I haven't kept track of them for a really long time just because I haven't had anything in them. But first up is from Gail at Budget With Me 24/7, which is the Save All You Want binder. I did complete this twice this year. I saved 200 in April and 140 in June. So you put whatever you want in there. I do plan to use this again at some point. And then the other binder is from Budget with Ira. It's a $500 binder. And I think I'm going to earmark this towards my mortgage. So like an extra mortgage payment. So those have had nothing for quite a long time. That's okay. And last but certainly not least is my month ahead binder. So this is to pay for 1 month's worth of bills. Hopefully when I buy a different place, to pay for my current place as well as just some basic standard monthly bills. So we have 60 in my cell phone savings, 60 in gas, 80 in car insurance, 100 in grocery, and we should have 60 in property tax. So yes, so 60 in property tax. So we have $360 in this account, or this savings, and we had 240 at the end of October, so we are up 120. which is great. So those are all of my wonderful accounts. I'm not keeping track of my savings challenges that I'm doing because that money feeds into either debt or goes in towards sinking funds. So at the end of October, I had across all of my accounts and everything was 3,301. Okay, let's try that again. $3,311.46. And at the end of November, we have 3,702.15. So we are up 390.69. So almost $400 across all of my accounts. Again, some of these kind of go up and down, like Christmas is going to go down at the end of next month. So hair is going to go down. But you know what? This is the reason why I love these videos and filming these videos, because I see my progress and I see why I need to cash stuff and set money aside in sinking funds. If I had a huge pot of money, I would be very tempted to spend it. Maybe not every month or every week, but there would be probably points in the year where I would be feeling antsy and then just want to spend out of there because I'm a spender by nature. So yeah, this really shows me in black and white how I am doing. So I'm always so happy that I'm saving, that I'm paying for things. So yeah, I hope that gives you encouragement to do the same. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I would love it if you hit the like button. And again, leave me a comment down below and I will see you on the next one. Bye, everybody.